Hey, welcome back, D Game. Got a lot going on here. We're gonna talk this time about credit, how it works, what not to do, and we're gonna end up giving some uh, audio. We gotta turn this down. Having technical difficulty here. Um, so that way we got. We're gonna give a credit hack here in a little bit. So stay with the video. Something simple and everything everybody can do. So I literally been going through emails and things that people have sent me here. And about 10 minutes ago, I wrote this out. I'm just, it's crazy. Some people just either don't get it, or they just or financially illiterate. But it's the way it works. So start with, don't use your credit card online. Again, don't do it. Or your debit card. Excuse me. Don't use your debit card online. Use a credit card only. Also, if you're using your debit card while you're buying stuff that in cash and stuff like that, stop. Use a credit card. It's not a waste of money, but you're not going to get any benefit out of any of this. There's not much benefit to using a credit card other than some of the protections, but they do give you points and they do give you things that cash back or they apply it to certain things, whatever it is. But it's free. It's free money. If you don't carry a balance, it's free. They don't get any interest. They get nothing. All they do is give you stuff. Okay, so just try to do that more often. Start switching over from using your debit card to using your credit card. Debit card may be a little bit easier because it goes directly out of your bank account. You don't have to take another step to go and do stuff, but it's not that hard to hop online and take care of stuff. It's fairly easy and straightforward. You can do it in a few minutes. So, like I say, just bear with me. I wrote it down. So we got when you use credit cards, they there is things like say points and incentives to do it. As long as you don't carry a balance, it costs you nothing, right? So it's free. That's number one. Number two, it builds credit. They report every time your debit card, your bank, they don't report when you use it. So your credit, it doesn't help your credit at all. Credit cards will. So if you need to build credit or keep your credit up, use them more often. It'll build faster or maintain more solid. So that is two different reasons that is very important to use credit card. Plus, like say the protections. There's protections on this damn things that you'll end up losing money. Or have a bad product or something like that. You're going to end up being way better off with using a credit card than you are with using a debit card. Your bank ain't going to care. Credit cards is their money, so they will hold counts. They will do this, do that. So there is things you can do, and there's advantages to it. Then the things that credit cards look for, right? What are things that credit cards watch out for and kind of look over and stuff and judge you on, right? Timely payments. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't know how much more simple I can get to do any of this stuff, but you just pay your freaking payment. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, even if you can't pay the full amount, which I don't recommend, but it happens, pay it on time. Pay it like a week before. It doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you're making the payment, they'll do it. The moment it's a day late, okay, now you got a problem. Now you're affecting your credit. It's not going to be a good thing. Just make payment on time. It's pretty simple. Then, what they look for is credit to debt ratio. Okay. And a way to explain this would be, let's say you have $10,000 in credit, on a card, your limit, right? That's what they can do. You charge $8,000 on that $10,000 credit limit. That's 80%, right? That's the ratio, 80% of your allowed credit. It's not the greatest thing in the world. There's nothing wrong with doing it, as long as you have the money to pay it off. You want to get your debt ratio, generally standard, you want to keep it between 15 and 20%. That is the best thing. The reason that if somebody's charging and maxing out their credit, generally they don't have money on hand. If they don't have money on hand, they're at credit risk, right? So you will get flagged in the computer. I mean, it might not affect your credit really substantially right away, but it will become an issue. So that's how they determine your credit worthiness, right? Some people say to use 50% of your credit ratio. Don't. That's stupid. A lot of us that, even your average middle class, how much money that they have, on credit cards? Why would we spend that much a month? It's dumb. Don't do it. I mean, people literally have emailed me saying that, they don't get it. Okay. I mean, just imagine if you had 5 cards and each of them had $12,000. People are dumb. Okay. So don't do that. Difference between good credit, normal, average credit, and the way we do things, and bad credit, right? Well, start off with the bad credit. Self-explanatory. You either are not buying, if you have bad credit, it's because of you're not being timely. You are not paying. You have a charge off. You have a judgment. Whatever the deal is, it's not. It's pretty self-explanatory. Bad credit, and whatever you're doing that has to stop it. It isn't worth your time, right? It's not benefiting you in any way. You got to change the way you go about things. So, if you want to talk about normal average is you've got $1,000 on your credit card. You got a $500 car payment. You got $2,000 house payment, whatever it is, and you pay them out of your bank account every month, and it just continues and continues, and you're doing fine. That's what normal average is. There's nothing wrong. There's no wrong with that, but there's better ways to do things. And at some point, you're going to get to this average deal where it's just the way that your life is set up, and you haven't made it to the point to where you can do other things and expand. But that's generally the average of the way people kind of do things or whatever. So, everybody kind of understands that. So when we talk about good debt, right? Good debt is debt you have that other people pay for. And if you want to just kind of put it in a simple terms, think about it as rental properties. You own a home you live in that you owe no money on. You go out and you get a loan on a rental property that you buy. Let's say, $100,000, and there's $1,000 a month that you owe on it, and you charge the rent. The rent pays for the loan, so there's no bill to you. So that's one example of good debt. because other people are paying your debt. People do this all the time. It's not uh, uncommon. Like say these people that are building great big buildings, these skyscrapers and stuff like that, millionaires and billionaires. You think they spend their money on it? They don't spend their money on it. They use other people's money, and then they make them pay the loan. They also get interest off the money that people invested. So when it's all said and done, they can pay their investors back with a little bit of interest, with maybe a little extra, but then their building has substantially went up in value. So there they go. Now they've made money. So that's one thing that you got to watch. If you can do, you got to do, and watch out if other people are doing that to you. There's certain instances you got to be careful of. Well, I might explain that sometime, but right now I'm just going to hit all this crap that people are like being dumb about. If you have bad credit or no credit at all, what do you do? How do you start? If you are 18, 20, whatever the deal is, just out of college, whatever, and you have no credit, sometimes when you go to college, you get, student loans, and you have the ability to have credit through that, right? If you don't, then one easy way is if your parents have the ability, and most do, go get to be an authorized user on their card, one of their credit cards, and use it. Don't overuse it, but buy what you're normally going to buy that you don't spend any extra money on or doing anything, and just make that payment every month all the time. And then, like I say, obviously you got to talk to your parents and that kind of thing, but just make sure that you make that payment, or make sure the money they make the payment, you give it to them, whatever the deal is. Obviously, with my children, going through that. So this is what Dad does. So another thing is to your secured credit card, unsecured credit card. They have these secured credit cards where you have to pay so much money down and you get to use it. It's not the best way to do it, but if you have no other option, then go ahead and do it. And if you use it responsibly and pay attention, because I wouldn't say they are like scams, but they can be like a predatory lender, and it'll screw you over. You have to pay a lot of attention, read the agreement. Even on a regular card, read the agreement, right? And just common sense things, and follow the rules and understand what you're getting into, because a lot of the times they don't really want you to read it, and they get you. Sometimes, like say you have a $500 secure card, but when you get it, it's already got $350 of fees and craps are charged to it. So when you go out and spend $175 on something that you have the money to pay back, well, now you got overdraft fee or overcharge fee and all this stuff, and it just compounds. So be very careful when it comes to those things. But if you have the ability not to, do not do it. If you if you have bad credit, find out why. I mean, a lot of you probably figure it out. You kind of know. But a lot of us, like, we got a low credit score. We haven't really missed any payments. We paid all our bills, and we don't charge a lot. But our credits just ain't great, And I've had people in my life that had that problem, and they have went through and figured it out. And it was like a $200-300 bill from like a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, that they just didn't know. It happened to move, and the bill was, didn't get forwarded, and it never got paid, and so they reported it, and all this stuff. It's simple. Just take care of it. Poof, it's done. And it'll affect your credit when things like that happen. But once you pay it off, it'll start building real quick. And credit is very, very useful for a million things, but it's really starting to affect our life more and more and more. There's obviously through insurance, you get a better rate if you have better insurance or better credit. Other companies are starting to look at the same thing. Sometimes you can't even, if you have bad credit, you can't even get utilities and stuff. I heard that. But also, there's a lot of jobs that won't. They check your credit. They won't hire you. I mean, when you think about it, like government jobs, hospitals, nursing homes, things like that, where people need to be very responsible. They check credit, and if they have very bad credit, that is obviously they're physically or financially irresponsible, which would probably lead to maybe not being the most responsible person in the world. And if that's the case, if you're equal with another person and everything is the same except your credit is bad and they've got decent, you're going to lose out every time. So understand that this is it's a major thing, and it's gonna keep getting worse. It's going to be more and more stuff. Credit's really a good thing, and you guys need to get on it now versus later. Let's see what else we got here. Stop. Oh yeah, dude. Stop making bad decisions, man. I mean, come on. How? I mean, we all make bad decisions, dude. I'm classy for it, but at least I got the money to pay for it. So, stop doing things, buying stuff you don't need, and not paying or whatever it is. And when it comes to that stuff, don't let others. Don't go charge something for your friend. And they're like, oh, dude, I just ain't got nothing. Can you pick me this, $100 thing out, man? Just we're together, you guys are hanging out. And he's like, yeah, I'll pay you back. Don't do it. I mean, it's stupid, right? Oh, what do they always say with that meme? Stupid, All right. So, don't, don't do that. Don't co-sign for anything. If a friend comes to you and wants like money and stuff like that, that's kind of, but be very careful. Understand if you're going to give them money to a friend, that for the most part, you better have your stuff together and understand that you are giving this money to him, because he might pay it back, he might not. Don't co-sign for anything. Don't get on and sign for a bill or for a utility or whatever the crazy crap. I've heard a million things that people do. It's just dumb. I mean, just absolutely stupid. Don't do it. If the person is that responsible and you co-sign and they're going to pay it back, why in the hell ain't their parents doing it? Why ain't their family doing it? Because they won't do it because they know they're not responsible enough to do it. So don't get tied up into that crap. I mean, they understand their money thing. They might be a good friend, but their money and their situation is not your problem. Okay, that is their problem. They created. Let them deal with it. Also, you got when you get with a woman, be very careful. Don't let them on your cards. I don't care if you've been dating for a year. Don't let them on your cards. They got their own. Let them do that. Don't go charging things or paying their bills off or any of that stuff. I mean, yes, you guys are going to build a life together maybe and all that. But until that actually happens, until you do the horrible thing of marriage, do not pay their crap. It's dumb because the moment you pay, just split, or she can for any man. I mean, then you're out the money, man. Don't do that shit. You got to think ahead about this crap, man. Women are liabilities. And don't get me wrong, I'll say this shit about guys too, man. There's a lot of guys out there with liabilities. So you women, don't be paying your guys a shit. You know, if they ain't got the money to do it, dude, he's a loser. So, uh, you know, find somebody else. Find somebody that's got stuff figured out. A good way of making a little hack about credit or whatever. Okay, credit reports. Obviously look at everything that they've laid out, right? That as you've been paying, you know. So obviously, the more credit you have out there, then the more reporting you get. It's better to a certain extent, credit to debt ratio, obviously, but understand you can get two reports for the same loan, and on top of that, get your card benefits. So take, for instance, that you go out and you get a $10,000 car. That ain't shit, but $10,000 car. And you get a loan through the bank to do that, right? Or through a car dealership or whatever, but the car dealership is going to go through a bank. Either way, so let's say that'll be a set payment, right? Let's just say $500 a month, just for round numbers. So you have a set $500 a month payment. Instead of paying that with a check or online directly out of your bank account, stuff like that, set a credit card up to pay that loan. So every month, let's say your $500 is due, they charge your card $500. Then all you have to worry about is paying your monthly $500 payment on that card. See, you take that card and you put it in the safe. You don't use it for anything else. That way it's always the same. If you pay it off every month, there's no interest, right? But you also get all the benefits, whether it's cash back, points or whatever. You're racking that up on something you're going to spend anyway. Plus, the credit card is reporting good credit, timely payments. You're keeping your ratio in the area you want it to be. The bank is also reporting that you're paying the car loan on time for the same money, for the same dollars. So think about it. There's plenty of little things like that you can do that are simple and easy to kind of make credit better. But I ain't gonna stick around anymore, man. Some of the emails, I'll share some of these with you sometime, man. These damn things is crazy, man. You guys is nuts. But all right, I always like to see the emails and the comments and stuff, man. It's great, but some of them, man, what the heck? But I'm getting out of here. You guys, hope you listen, got something out of it. Later.